We're live.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. All right. I think this sounds a little weird. I think the air conditioner is going on. Who gives a shit?
Can you hear me?
Let's roll.
Let's roll. Let's get this shit popping. All right. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
I want to thank the both of you so much for coming out to come on Back to Your Story and just fucking bullshit and have a good time. For the people listening, why don't you guys introduce yourself?
Go for it.
I'm Ben. I am Richie's business partner.
Okay.
Yep. I'm Richie. I'm Ben's business partner.
I love that. I love that. That was a perfect introduction. Next time I'll do it for you guys. You guys are cut. No, I'm just joking. How the hell did we even meet? I'm drawing a freaking blank.
We met through Greg Kyleman.
Yeah. Fuck, dude.
COVID survivor and all around fucking awesome, slightly nerdy dude.
He is.
And he's going to listen to this, and I love him.
Yes. He's such a good dude. The wife and I went down there. I still have to put that podcast out, man. After he was cleared and went to his place. And I literally met him through Facebook. Someone introduced me to him because I was looking to have some people that, were diagnosed with COVID and to hear about their experience. And he's such a good dude.
Yeah.
He really is.
He's the sweetest.
He is. How do you guys know him?
Friend of a friend.
Okay.
Yeah. Originally I met him. We used to work at the same company.
Okay.
Years ago, and he was in IT, and I ran the film department at this agency.
Shit.
And so he was the dude where we would like something would go wrong with the server, and we'd be like, Greg, and he would come up all like, remember Nick Burns, the company computer guy
Yes,
from
yes,
SNL?
yes.
He would come in and he would like fix shit. And, yeah, he's just a good dude. And then we reconnected years later.
Yeah, he. I mean, after I did the podcast with him, I always ask people like, can you introduce me to someone? And that's kind of how it was in the beginning of doing the podcast. And he shouted out your name real quick, dude. And for you to just come on, you didn't even know me from shit, but we connected because our stories are so similar. And on so many levels. Just kind of jumping in quickly because there's a lot of topics I'd like to discuss with you guys. How the heck did you guys meet?
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. There you go.
Are you sure? You ready?
Yeah. All right. So
do it.
Ben and I met in treatment. We met in rehab. We were both pretty raging drug addicts.
Nice.
And we found ourselves in this place called Beit Shuva, which is a Jewish treatment center, which I mentioned on my last appearance.
Yeah.
And Ben was from North Carolina, and I lived in LA for like, at that point, probably like 12 years or so. And I had like burned my whole fucking life to the ground. Man. But I was in commercial production, and then I was on the agency side, and I was doing a lot of like running a lot of different kinds of shoots for commercials mostly. And then I lost my fucking mind on meth and heroin, and then got sober. And so Ben and I met at Beit Shuva, and we were just like, the first time we actually met was probably just like smoking cigarettes on that smoke deck, like
Just talking about movies.
Yes.
Yeah, and just like shaking off the methadone and awful experiences and shit. And Ben came from he's from North Carolina.
Yeah. My first time in LA. Shipped off to rehab.
All right, there we go. Nice.
Yeah.
But it's so crazy, man. Through these crazy experiences, throughout our life, to be able to, find someone that you connect with on, a different level. Obviously, you guys have built a friendship, and then you guys have built a business, which, I see some of the work that you guys do, and I'm fucking blown away.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's truly, it's truly incredible. What was the idea behind Junk Films? Was it, I know you talked about it, on the podcast, but was it like something like instantly, or was it something just organically? How the fuck did it happen?
I was at a place called Creative Matters, which was a really small ad agency, and you were...
It was pretty organic. I came in, you had been there like 6 months maybe?
Yeah, about 6 months. They had it was this little agency that they had like literally 12 people or 10 people or something like that.
Yeah.
And they wanted like a film department, but they had like one dude with a handy cam, and like they didn't have a film department. So I was trying to help them build that department, and then Ben came in on an internship.
Yeah, so I hadn't really worked in probably 2 years because I was in treatment for 16 months.
Yeah.
And kind of on a whim, I was like, well, it's a tiny agency. There's not a lot of pressure. I'll take an internship there and see if that's still what I want to do with my life. And Richie had just started. You just started producing for the film department.
Because we were at that rehab together, and this place was actually owned by the rehab, right? Like this treatment center is actually pretty fucking cool, right?
Yeah.
Beit Teshuva in Culver City. It is a Jewish-based, spirituality-based treatment center. It mixes Jewish concepts and precepts with the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. And what that means is you go in and you are instantly a part of like this big community. So you go to Shabbat and they have like a rock band playing like rock versions of hymns.
Jewish
hymns.
Yeah.
Seriously? You had
Dude, I was in the fucking band, bro. I shredded. I gotta show you. I'll find the clip.
I want to see the shit.
Yeah, and like they had me in on guitar, and I was like, I want to play guitar in the band, and I came in, I play guitar. I didn't know I could play guitar sober. And I'll go in.
Isn't that always crazy, right? Like, you know, we look up to our idols and like, you know, musicians, and you hear about a lot of their like just crazy fucking drug experiences.
Oh yeah.
But then, you know, and we go through those things as well. But then try to do it sober.
It was a big fear for us
I'm
coming
sure.
into it.
For us too, yeah. We were like, I don't fucking know, because I had spent years, and you to some extent too, when you were working in your field in North Carolina, like just using drugs and alcohol to fuel just getting through the fucking day.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and so anyway, so this treatment center is like, they're very well rounded. They have all these cool little programs, and one of their programs, a guy started this, started as like a graphic design, like they were making flyers for the treatment center.
Okay.
And then they upgraded and upgraded, and they eventually became just like a place that does like a little bit of website design, a little bit of graphic design, and they just expanded more and more. They weren't able to stay really profitable, but it was a really fucking cool training ground for guys like me and guys like Ben who were going to come in and, you know, like you can't spend a year. You were in there for just as long as I was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We were in this place for a fucking year, you know, and you can't like spend a year trying to get your brain back together and then immediately go back into 60 hours a week in the ad world.
No, not at all.
You'll go get high in a fucking heartbeat.
Fuck yeah, absolutely.
So this place was the kind of place where you go, you get an internship. They would give you 10 hours a week, and then 20 hours a week, and then 30. And
Oh shit, just kind of build you up.
Yeah, build you up.
Damn, that's so freaking smart.
Really fucking cool. The place is called Creative Matters. They do mostly, like, because of the Jewish connection, they do mostly, damn, I can't even think of one now, but mostly like Jewish organizations, Jewish Federation and stuff. And then they also do some treatment stuff.
Okay.
So we came in, we started like their film department essentially.
Damn, that's so crazy. And for you, did you grow up making films? Like, how did this all happen?
No, my path was a little roundabout. I grew up wanting to be an English major. Like, I like writing. Yeah.
Okay.
Went to 3 colleges, failed out of all of them in a semester. Raging heroin addict.
Okay.
And then my mom found a broadcasting school.
All right.
And she was like, you've always liked sports. Why don't you go to broadcasting school and be a sports radio person? And I wanted to go because there was no class requirements. You didn't have to go to class every day. But when we had the camera class, I remember using the camera and then staying after and talking to the guy about the settings and how it worked. And I was just fired up.
Yeah.
For the first time in probably 5 years on something.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
And
what is that? As you're saying, like, you know, there is something that we go through and there's just like this spark, right?
yeah, it's almost like, I don't know, like being a kid again or something. It was like a new toy that was also creative. And I was like, oh, I can make money doing this.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a big moment. And then, so from there, I was also a drug addict at the time. So career was not a great opportunity for me, but I started taking whatever I could do.
Yeah.
Jumping on NASCAR shoots. This was in North Carolina.
Damn.
And then I worked for a news station for a while, which was incredible training ground because you're shooting 2 stories every day and then editing them in the afternoon and putting them on television.
Yeah.
Like there's a hard deadline at 5 p.m.
For sure.
And then I went to rehab for 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, but what was the last thing you did before you went to rehab? Why'd you get shipped off to rehab?
Yeah, so I was driving the news van around.
Okay.
And it has a satellite dish on top because you're feeding the signal back to the station.
Yeah.
And drove under a bridge high on Valium and ripped the satellite off the top of the truck.
Holy shit.
And we go into the office.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, the boss, the guy who owned the station, was like,
Oh my God. Continue.
he was like, you're going to have to go take a drug test.
You're like, me?
Why?
Yeah. And I faked the drug test, passed it, and he's like, you're still fired. It's a $60,000 satellite.
Wait a minute. How the fuck did you, how did you fake it?
You can buy fake urine, like a bag of urine,
Okay.
and tape it to yourself.
Yeah,
And they don't follow you in there. So you just...
Wait a minute. Did you hold this urine on you like every single day, or
Yeah.
was it?
No, it was
with
like,
it.
tomorrow you're going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not like, go right now. So he's just
They're
carrying
like,
around
we're
fake urine all
We'll
the time?
schedule your drug test
Yes.
for July 14th.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Holy shit. What the fuck went through your mind when that thing came off?
I mean, I was really high. I didn't really care at the time. I don't really remember. I mean,
I got that.
Yeah.
I get that. We've all gone through it. But fuck,
Weird time.
that is nuts, dude.
Yeah.
And so that was like the pivotal moment that was like, all right, fuck it. I got to go to rehab.
Well, that was when the story fell apart.
Okay.
For like the family. You know,
Okay.
for a long time when you're a drug addict, you hide it
Yeah.
from people.
Yeah.
And that was really where the story fell apart and people intervened.
All right. Get it.
So fun note about that story, which was years ago, because now, you know, we've been sober for a minute, but like, we had to change the copy on our website because it had a mention of that. Because like we're very transparent about
Yes.
our background.
Yeah,
you know,
obviously.
like we believe that like and it's in the copy on the website. We believe that like when you grow from things like the stuff that
Yes.
we've grown from, you can use your story to tell other people's stories. This is why you're doing what you do.
Absolutely.
And so we kept that like a testament to the work that we do, and we put it right on the fucking website. And we got denied by our insurance carrier because they were like, did like 2 seconds of fucking research, and they were like, oh yeah, no, you're not getting auto coverage, or you're not getting marine coverage.
Yeah.
And as a production company, you have to get like this big like $2 million policy and shit. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, guys.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's so crazy though to think that. I mean, we like in life, people make stupid choices. I mean, especially when you're younger, you fuck up, right? Yeah. And it's like, I mean, I guess I do understand from the insurance point of view,
Yeah.
but there are so many situations like that throughout life where people are penalized for things that they did when they were younger. You know, for mistakes that they made when they were younger. I was the last podcast. I was talking about a story when I was 16 years old, and I got charged with 10 felonies, and I was 10 drug-based offenses that should have locked my ass up for a long time. But you know, for me, fortunately, my parents had money, so they got me a lawyer. And by the time I was 17, that 10 got dropped to 3, then 1, and expunged from my record. But how many other people in this world, in the United States of America, let's just say, kids that make stupid decisions when they're younger, that they're penalized for the rest of their life, you know? And it's really fucked up, and we have to, you know, I don't know, in my opinion, like figure out ways around it and learn for forgiveness, right? And you know, we all have the opportunity to change our life and make better choices and do different things. But that's a crazy fucking story, dude. But it helped change your life.
It did. It was kind of the instigator for everything that's happened since then.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, for you, it wasn't, you know, always this vision of starting a production company.
No. It was more like PBS and documentaries and sports, stuff like that, news kind of thing. It's where Richie and I really complement each other pretty well. Is I didn't come from shooting Adidas, and Coffee Bean, and kind of more glamorous commercial clients. It was much more like, we're going to tell the story of this race car driver talking about his road back to racing again, you know?
Okay.
Right. And like news gathering, you know, more of the stuff that Ben did, which is like snippets and segments and, you know, people's stories and stuff like that. And so the whole idea behind the company is like, you know, we can create just about anything because his background and my background together are so very different and complement each other.
Dude, that's beautiful. I mean, I think that's the best relationships in life, you know, friendships, business partnerships, relationships, right? It's you have to have different skills to be able to complement one another, and that's how you build each other up. So, you know, for that moment, you know, all that shit that happened brought you to California. I stand correct, right? And then it brought the two of you guys together, which then brought Junk Films together. right? When you guys started thinking about Junk Films, was that the name instantly? Because that's a fucking brilliant name. I can't even believe you guys got it. Even 7 years ago, 8 years ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were at this place, this agency, this like boutique agency, and we were doing stuff that was great to cut our teeth on, but then at some point we were like, yo, like we can do this on our own, man.
Yeah.
Like we run this whole department, and as much as these guys are great and have given us like a lily pad to kind of like jump off of, I don't want to do like videos about treatment centers and these other organizations forever, but I do like the background of it. Like working in nonprofit and stuff like that helped us kind of, enjoy the messaging behind the work that we do. Anyway, we were at this place and we were like, I bet that we can start something on our own. What the fuck are we gonna call it?
Oh my God. Yes.
And we just like the idea of junk because I mean it's just a testament to the transparency that I was talking about.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Like, look, the people you're about to hire are former junkies. Does that matter? No, it absolutely doesn't. Unless you're a fucking insurance carrier.
Yes.
Apparently.
Fucking oh man.
But
Like so stupid.
Yeah, but what should matter is the fact that like in an industry ripe with all kinds of personality, layered upon personality, layered on top of bullshit, layered upon more personality. What we try to start here is something that cuts through all that, and something that we can like be the guys who are like, you can come to us and have a conversation with us about anything. Like we're not some locked up agency, we're not some locked up production company where we're going to give you some runaround. Like we want to be able to grow with clients that we shoot with.
Yes.
A lot of our clients are smaller, and some of them are global corporations like Adidas and stuff like that. But the idea behind what we do is like we want to be able to create anything in that spectrum and do it in a way where like we're establishing a relationship with somebody.
Yes.
And so the name kind of like speaks to that.
It does. It's really authentic, and it shows a testament to who you guys are. There are a lot of corporations and companies and businesses out there that, like you said, are like very locked up, right? And then giving people an opportunity that, have made mistakes in their life, right? But I mean, I believe that everyone deserves an opportunity regardless of their past, right? And so you guys are offering something that not a lot of companies out there, if any. I mean, I don't know many production companies out there that are as real and as raw as the both of you guys. And I believe that's why people gravitate to you guys, We
also like the idea that the name, when we first started it, we were like, I dig this name because it's not like, these classic institutions like Paramount.
Yes,
Pictures, right?
yes, yeah.
Or like fucking, I can't even think of one now that I'm trying to do the
Just
example.
like over the top.
Yeah,
trying
Over the
so
top,
hard.
Of course.
Overly positive, like a little too aggressively positive, and like the idea behind junk being like such a negative word with such a positive impact, right? We kind of like that juxtaposition. We started telling people, we're thinking about, well, we're going to start this company. What are you going to call it? Junk. And they're like, are you out of your fucking mind? This one director that we worked with a while back, we shot some stuff for him. He's like, no one's going to hire a company
one will give you work
called Junk. And I was like, okay, man. Like, he's like, no, how about this? Amphetamine films or some bullshit.
Oh my
It was
God.
amphetamine,
I was like, it's a little too on the nose. But,
Yes, of course.
and then the other half of people we told it to were like, that's fucking killer. I
Dude,
love it.
fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. If I was one of those people that you came to, I would have been like, dude, fucking roll with that. Yeah. And obviously it stuck. Was it the first name that came to mind?
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was pretty quick.
What the hell did we even... I think it was the only name.
It was, yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's when you know it's right.
Yeah, we knew right away.
Yeah, it was the only name that we could have gone with.
So how, I'm just going to kind of bounce all over the place.
Do it, man.
How has this whole thing with COVID affected you guys? Because
for fuck's sake.
my wife, she's a union makeup artist.
Right.
And I mean, she's working, big movies, Netflix movies, fucking Paramount, like all of these different like big budget films. And it's like, this was 6 years in the making for her. And this past, year has just fucking been a rocket ship for her. And then all of a sudden,
Yeah, that was us.
ooh, that was a little loud.
Add a little explosion effect.
Sudden. I think I can do it with that. But it just fucking cut it off. How the hell has that affected your guys' business and mentally, man?
Yeah, well, business.
I mean, business-wise, we lost a giant
We
job
lost.
right off the top.
So we had been building this company. We started in 2017. This is our fourth year that makes it, right?
Yeah.
We're in our fourth year.
Yeah.
We were, first of all, the fact that we could start a company from scratch and hustle hard enough to make salary in year one with no investors or anything, like, is something that we were incredibly grateful for. Year two, a little bit more. Year three, a little bit more. Year four, projections wise, with the stuff that we were booking towards the end of 2019, was like, oh, you're about to jump up 5 rungs on this fucking ladder.
Holy shit.
And we had 4 different jobs that I can't really talk about, but they were lined up, and one of them was massive. It was so fucking big. It was like, because we typically shoot with crews of like as little as just Ben and I for real small shit. But our normal crew size is between like 6 and 10 people, and then upwards of like, let's say 20 or something like that, 25 people, right? It's not like a huge production.
For 2017, man. Come on. It's fucking nuts.
And this one job that was supposed to happen in March was like the thing that was going to blow us into the next realm.
It was like 70 people.
Holy
it was a big
shit.
We were like, all right, we're gonna go. We're gonna be able to like take this content and pitch it into this whole new vertical.
Yeah.
And with the money that we make from it, we're gonna be able to open a business savings account and put some money over here. And we're like, okay, all right, we're really starting to, you know what I mean? What's the next step? And then COVID thing hit. Yeah. So in the beginning, Ben was like,
that's right. Like 2 weeks before we lost it.
Way before anyone else was talking about this shit, you were like, yo, there's this fucking virus from China. And I was like, oh, is there a virus?
Yes, exactly.
Ben, did a virus come over? You reading something on Reddit, right?
Like, it seems bad.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know, man. It's looking pretty bad.
They shut down their country.
Yeah, they're starting to shut down. And I was like, well, I mean, do you think it'll affect us? And then you made the point that like the thing that we were shooting had international talent flying in from all over the world, all over the damn world.
It was like 30 countries.
Yeah, all over the world. All these people flying in. Yeah.
But even then, we were like, oh, they'll just do it U.S. based. They just will say like, if you're from Asia, we won't. You'll be remote.
Yeah.
You do it on video.
Yeah. And that company was the first one to hit us up, and this was the beginning of March. They had the scope of work in their hand, ready to sign, and he was like, yo, there's a virus that's starting. I think you might want to check out the news. And I was like, all right, I'll check it out. But like, they're about to sign the scope of work.
Yeah.
And then the next day they called and they were like, hey, this thing that's happening across the world, not looking good. We're going to have to completely cancel everything. So the financial, for us, like, the financial then leads to the emotional toll.
Yeah, it does. Right? It does.
We got over it pretty quick.
We did get over it pretty quick.
But how? Because, this is like that moment for you guys. And obviously I know it will come back, right? But that moment, that's like a fucking leap for you guys. And I mean, especially with everything that you guys have gone through, it can be very emotionally challenging. What the hell was it that has been able to get you guys through it?
I think it was just perspective. Like, nothing really changed in our life. Mm-hmm. You know, the company's still there. It's not like we were instantly broke, right. Struggling to pay rent. Yeah. And also, it wasn't like we lost the job because of something we did wrong.
There we go.
It was a world event.
Yes.
And everyone lost something.
Perspective.
And everyone was sort of in the same boat. You know, I think the NBA canceled their season like 10 days later.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
This is a big deal.
Yeah. And always, since we started the company with, a few $100s.
That's the other thing.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. We were broke at one point. This was not.
Well, yeah.
We're in a much better place now.
we were just grateful to have had the opportunity. We know enough that all that means for us is that when this shit is over and everyone's okay, like the next one that comes in is going to be the one.
It does.
It's fine. That's the fact that we were able to get the fish on the hook, even if the fish swam away because a virus.
Yes. It's like fucking
hit the
crazy.
water or whatever the metaphor is. Like, whatever comes next, we'll be able to handle it.
We were more bummed about the lenses. We were about to buy lenses.
We were about to buy a set of lenses.
That was like the big thing.
Yeah, what kind of lenses?
These Ingenue Cine Zooms.
Okay, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
They're very nice.
Okay,
yeah, I'll show you pictures.
I believe it. I believe it. Damn though. What happens next? How the fuck? We're in this just really weird situation. It's like we've had COVID. We've all been locked up for so long. And then we see, what unfortunately happened to George Floyd, right?
Yeah.
And now, then there's protests and then there's fucking riots, right? So we have this like world of chaos. and now countries are starting to open, and cities and states are starting to open. How do we get back? Like, it's strange fucking times.
Yeah, man. I mean,
I don't think anyone really knows how it's going to go. Our opinion changes by like the week. It's like 1 week we're like, fuck the lockdown, let's go do stuff.
Yes.
And then the next week it's like, oh wait, people are still dying. This is really bad. We got to say, so it kind of, everything changes so quickly.
It does.
And the focus of what seems super important changes quickly.
110%. When the virus like first started and everything like that. Hold on 1 second. Is this going to bother it?
The AC?
Yeah.
If you guys are hearing feedback in the mic.
Do you hear a lot of it?
I don't hear it at all. Actually, I started to feel it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm just going to move this up just a little bit. Hold on.
Daniel, will you take some pictures of us?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
Do you want it on your phone or you want me to send it to you?
It was just getting a little hot in here. Okay, so kind of getting back to the point was like, oh, there we go. Good job. Fuck, I don't even know what the hell I was saying.
Oh, what do we do?
Oh, yeah, no. Hold on, I got it. So when the virus first started, when everything first started happening, right? The first things that came to my mind were like, shit, dude, like Spanish flu, like it's gonna be bad, right? And that's what they were saying, right? It was like it's gonna be, just as bad or roughly around that. And there were a lot of us that were nervous and scared. And then as time has gone on, there's been a lot of like misinformation. Wear masks, don't wear masks, this, that, and the other. And one thing that I've personally noticed, and I know a lot of people out there, is like it has unfortunately affected people that are older, right? The elderly population. And what I'm saying right now is not to, put down the people that have passed away or people that have lost loved ones. It has nothing to do with that. But just from statistically speaking, older people and people that unfortunately don't take care of themselves or pre-existing conditions. So now we're in this situation where it's like we have locked the entire country down. Everything is fucking chaotic. And now we start to open. My head is like, well, what happens, in the fall when this comes back, right? Or if it does come back, are they just going to close down, reopen, close down, reopen?
Imagine if it doesn't.
Dude, that's it.
That'll be the end-all, be-all conspiracy theory
it will.
fodder shit.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
If it just goes away.
Yeah.
We're like, well, what the fuck were we doing?
Yeah.
Like people losing their minds.
Absolutely. Well, the whole thing was like, kind of take it off another topic, is like when the whole thing happened with Jeffrey Epstein, right?
Yeah.
That was like clear as fucking day.
Yeah.
Some strange ass shit happened. Why does he have 13 fucking jumpsuits in his place? Why are the cameras off? Why is like all of this shit happening? And it's like, but then we don't talk about it, or the media doesn't talk about it, right? And so then now we have COVID. What happens if it doesn't come back, right? It's like, what the fucking fuck?
I mean, it's going to come back.
It is.
What blew my mind kind of like Epstein is that when the protests started for George Floyd, which is a good cause.
Absolutely.
COVID went away.
Boom.
It was like the media
gone.
The counter, the death counter was gone. The scientists were gone, and we were on to the protests. And now we're back to COVID again. And the George Floyd thing is going to be gone in 2 weeks, and we'll be on to the next thing.
Yeah, which is sad.
Which is really fucking sad. And I honestly, I hope that there does come real change,
For sure.
I truly hope, because there are a lot of people, especially like, not just especially, but in the United States of America, that don't have it as good as some other people, right? But then the media just kind of builds everything up, takes it down, builds it up, takes it down, builds it up, takes it down, and then we're just kind of stuck with the shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we were happy when the looting stopped. It was pretty quick, right?
Yeah,
it was like across a couple of days or whatever in LA, and we were right in the middle of it.
Yeah,
we live on Melrose.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I have pictures. We watched them, like we locked down the house, pulled the shades and everything. But when that shit started, it was like, fuck. Now that's all they're gonna focus on.
Yeah. It is.
Like, god damn it. This, you know what I mean? And like, we can't afford to have another 4 years of this fucking administration.
No,
so it's like, yeah,
it's weird. It's and the way this administration has handled everything is been very, very strange. Like, I have my opinions, with the Democratic Party, like what has happened. Yeah, just kind of get off topic again. Is like Bernie Sanders was running in 2016, right? Mm-hmm. At that time, when he got pushed aside. I didn't understand why those people didn't go straight to Hillary, right? Flash forward to 2020 when Bernie, in my opinion, got pushed aside, right? I fully understand why those people won't get behind someone like Joe Biden, especially, I don't know, in my opinion, there's clear signs of dementia going on.
Yeah.
Why would you get behind someone like that? And especially with the climate of everything going on right now, we'd want someone like Bernie fucking Sanders. Do I believe in all of his policies? I don't, but I like consistency. I definitely like consistency.
Yeah, Bernie would be really interesting.
He would. He would be very, very interesting. But I don't know. I like to be a man of my word. If I fuck up, if I do something wrong, I'll admit it. I'll say it. You know. So I don't know. It's just this really weird, chaotic climate, and I see all these different businesses like yourself or like my wife or small businesses that a lot of them are going to get wiped away, and you know, it's just really fucking sad.
Yeah, well, you have to adapt.
You have to.
I'm a little surprised Bernie dropped out when he did, because it seems like with the economic climate and the way the world is going, it would be a prime environment for him to be making a run.
Yeah.
I didn't get why he dropped out. I mean, if ever there was a time where it's like free healthcare for everybody when the pandemic is going on, and let's support individuals instead of these giant corporations, like now is the time.
Now,
you know?
now is the time. But now we're stuck with two people that are like, it's just, what the fuck?
Did you hear John Oliver on his piece about it?
No.
It's the difference between either being shot in the stomach or shot in the leg.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck, man? It's so stupid, you know? And it's like we're continually given shit after shit after shit. And it's like, how long do we do this for? You know, I used to be a Democrat, and I'm a fucking independent, right? And it's just because of everything that has gone on. And there are a lot of people scared out there that Donald Trump for another 4 years. There's a lot of people out there that are like, fuck yeah! You know? It's just, this is definitely a very polarizing time to be alive. All right, so let's kind of bring it back to your story, guys. Jump off on a tangent. What was one of the first big jobs you got?
Oh, man. Sea change.
Yeah, sea change, for sure.
Yeah, that was fun. We, before we started the company officially, we were at that agency, and we were trying to do our own thing, and there was no way to do it because during the day we had to shoot their stuff. And so on the weekends, I had a key to the place, and we would just go at night, and we would grab the gear, and we would go shoot like something for ourselves.
Just like friends.
Yeah. And like, you know, being an Alcoholics Anonymous, I know a lot of fucking weirdos.
Yes.
I know a lot of people who have, you know, come from like homeless to like these incredible stories. So we were like, let's shoot these little things. We shot one, ended up cutting it. It was like 5 minutes long. So we had this idea to shoot these little micro docs, these little like 5-minute documentary pieces. Nice. And so we shot a series of them for fun. A buddy of mine, PJ, who is this dude from Boston, and he still talks like this.
Yeah.
And he's even though he's living in LA forever and he's in his 50s, but he used to be like a crackhead, homeless dude living under a bridge, and then he became an artist, and now he like just paints art, and he like travels to, you know, these European countries because he gets in touch with the coffee shop over there, and he puts his fucking art on the walls, and then they let him put his art on the walls, and then some people buy him, and he like brings all these fucking canvases under his arm. So he just has these nuts stories, and he didn't come out as gay until he was 51 years old.
Jesus.
And he grew up in like south side of Boston.
Yeah.
So we had this like incredible artist with this really traumatic background of drug and addiction and homelessness, and then you add this stifling of your own sexuality to it for half a fucking century.
Dude, that's nuts.
And I was just like, dude, we got to hear this guy's story. Like that is so fucking cool. And so we shot this dude. He was insane. It was a lot of fun. Then we shot another one.
It's one of my favorite videos we've done.
Yeah. And we shot my buddy Robbie, who is a good friend of mine. He rides fixies, like bikes.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
Yeah, and he rips through downtown on him like a psychopath. So he's like, yo, rig a fucking GoPro to the bike. And he did it. Came back like 10 minutes later, we looked at the footage. It was horrifying. Shit that he was doing, like weaving and
yes.
So we shot this story about him riding his bike. That was the first one, actually. Robbie Rides was the first one. It was like
Robbie Rides.
PJ Paints, and it was like 2 minutes long, and it was just like this interview with him in the middle of the street. All this footage of him. A buddy of mine through the program saw it, and he runs a treatment center that focuses on experiential and adventure therapy. So like they take dudes like rock climbing, they take dudes surfing, they take them all these different
Jiu-jitsu,
right? And like teach, and it's a men's. It's just like this
Yeah.
rad space to like regain
yeah.
your like masculine identity in a good way, right? For the first time in your life, probably. And so he saw that video. He was like, "I love that. I wanted you to do 3 of them for the treatment center."
He wanted to buy it.
We wanted to buy
originally.
it, and I was like, "I don't want to sell it to you,
Yeah.
but you can hire us to shoot."
Yeah, we
more."
were like, we want to shoot
Holy
more of them.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that was that it? That was like the first like.
That was the first like quote campaign, because it was
Okay.
like multiple deliverables. It was like 4 videos or something like that.
Yeah,
3
it
or
was
4
also
videos.
the first one where somebody was like, what you're doing is really cool.
Yeah.
I want to pay you money to do more of them for our business.
Do you remember how that made you guys feel?
We were pretty excited.
Yeah, I mean, it made us feel like we weren't living in a vacuum suddenly, because like to do it as one person, I try to imagine myself without Ben. I'd be like, I have no fucking perspective. And then you add someone to it, and then you have a little bit of perspective. But to have someone just be from the outside of that little vacuum,
Yeah.
be like, yo, what you're doing is rad. It's like, oh shit, there might be something to this.
Yes.
pretty cool.
Yes.
So, and we just slowly build. And so that was like the first big job for a local business, right?
Hold on, let me before we get to the next
Yeah.
part. Did you guys even have a business license? Was it even like official yet?
I
No.
don't think so. No.
Fuck yes. After that, or did it take a little bit longer?
It was pretty soon after that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we ended up getting legitimate in the eyes of the state of California.
State of California.
Like that?
I did.
I'm 14. In the eyes of the state, we got legitimate probably like 3 months after that or something like that.
Dude, that's man. What is it? What is it? Because I know for me why I like to hear people's stories. Why for you guys?
Oh, like why shoot them?
Yeah, why?
That's a great question.
Because there's I get asked that all the time. He asked me before he came on the team.
I don't even
Daniel
know
did.
I don't even know how to answer that.
With
Why do you like
words.
to hear people's stories?
I mean, I think I like to hear how other people who have lived a very different life than me see the world.
Yeah.
And kind of how they've experienced things. I think everybody goes through life and thinks that they have. For me, growing up, it was like, wow, my family is so messed up, and everybody else's family is perfect.
Yes.
And then you realize, as you get older, everybody's family is really fucked up, and it's just sort of how we all experience it,
Yes.
and that's interesting.
It is.
And I'd like to hear how their family was messed up compared to how mine was.
Yes.
And that goes for sort of everything. You know, our story is we met in rehab and stuff, but everyone's got something like that.
Of course.
You know, everyone's got, I went to college and this crazy thing happened and
Yeah.
I ended up in finance and now I own a yacht. And
Exactly.
It's an interesting story.
Of course, there's perspective. you
yeah.
know?
I loved it from the beginning because, like when you watch a movie that like hits you in such like I get physical goosebumps,
Yeah.
right? It's like
Yeah.
some of us
Movie,
get like these
music,
goosebumps, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Here and you're like, oh my god, that scene
Yes.
is so fucking
Yes.
good. To know that I could potentially create something like that, and then to do it accidentally in the shooting it, and then in the edit, you're like, oh, you remember that part? And we bring it in and you create an arc out of this person's story. Like, because there's so many different ways to tell someone's story. Like, we can interview you for an hour
Yeah.
and cut it into something that you'd be like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
and so we like that. That for me is like the art form in it, is playing with it. And then in that PJ one, there's a moment, I can't remember what it is now, but there's a moment where I got those chills when we were editing it, and I was like, okay, this is something.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
For sure. What's your guys' workflow? Who does what?
I direct and produce.
I shoot, edit, and color.
Yeah,
All right. Damn. So
I do a
that-
little
that-
bit of sound.
That is like a perfect match. Is there other people on the team, or is it just you?
Well, we own the company, and it's
Yeah.
mostly the two of us, and everything starts with us. And then we
Josh.
We have Josh Carter. Josh Carter, who is the
The smartest one of
Josh.
all of us, for sure.
smartest one out of all of us. Josh is was the hardest working dude I've ever hired in my life.
Holy shit! There we go.
And he's a dude from Tennessee, moved out to LA.
He's an engineer by trade.
Right.
Okay.
Like, went to school to be an engineer.
Yeah.
So he just builds stuff
But
for
he's
us.
obsessed with cameras.
Exactly.
Fuck yeah! Hell yeah!
So he's perfect. He's an all-around dude. So he runs camera for us. He on the last coffee bean shot, we had to get a shot of a coconut that's pouring milk out of it, and I just handed him the coconut and some tubes, and I was like, "Bro, figure it the fuck out. we're gonna start rolling camera. And he like,
Yes.
built this rig out of like fucking C stands and tubes, and like got the almond milk to come out of the coconut.
Dude, that's so sick.
He's awesome.
Do you guys? I don't know. I get this feeling sometimes. We put like all this work in, and like things are going well. Do you guys ever think like it's like kind of really fragile and it's gonna like slip away and things are gonna go back to the way it was? Like
That's interesting.
yeah.
I used
like
to.
that. I like that you think that. Though.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think it. I'm sure at some point I think that way, right? Like I have a little bit of sometimes anxiety that pops up.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, well, fuck, where's the next job
The first
coming from?
year was a lot of that.
Oh, the first year was just unbridled, constant anxiety. Because
Yes.
we started the company with $1,500.
I think we both half expected it to be like, well, we'll try this, and 3 months from now we'll go get real jobs.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of, we kept getting another job. I don't really fear that as much anymore. It's weird. Even with the quarantine, I didn't really, never really had that thought like, oh my God, we're going to go out of business.
Yeah, and I wonder why we have that security.
I don't know.
That's awesome. No, that's like literally fucking amazing.
Yeah.
For me, like I'm at the best point I've ever been in my entire life, and things are going really well. But man, there's always like something in the back of me. It's like, dude, this could all just.
Well, that's good, right? Because like the ones who are completely, not touching the ground are the ones who are going to inevitably fuck up.
Yeah,
like,
that's
I'll
true.
be fine. I mean, you have that little bit of fear. It
Of
propels
course.
you.
Of course.
We also were so careful at the beginning. We don't have any debt. We didn't.
Yeah, well, we're still careful.
We never really overextended ourselves. We never took out like $100,000 to buy a bunch of camera gear that we have to pay off over 3 years. We were very careful to keep we didn't hire a bunch of people.
That's so
we kept
smart.
it just the two of us.
Every part of our business, whether it's like growing relationships or buying, because the equipment's so fucking expensive.
Yes,
we're
it
a
is.
production company, right? So everything happened very incrementally and very intentionally. And so, yeah, like we
We're very careful.
purposefully did not incur any debt. And we currently have a client who has an issue with that, and they have a ton of debt, and they're having issues with their company, and they put up millions of dollars. And
Yes.
it's like, oh fuck, that's a cautionary tale.
100%, and that's why they're saying 30 to 40% of small businesses are going to be done
because of COVID.
Because of COVID, because most people don't have enough money to last a month, let alone 2, 3, 4, 5 months without any income coming in. And I mean, for you guys to have that perspective, to understand not to take out $100,000 worth of debt, right, to get all this camera and equipment and all of this fucking shit. What is that about you? Was it taught? Was it learned? Was it just instinct?
To be honest, our credit was so bad at the beginning.
We had no fucking
no
choice.
way.
Yes!
There was
Yeah,
no
we
way.
would have had to find someone who's like, yo, bro, let me get $100,000.
Yeah,
Yes,
there's
yes.
no way. It took us 3 years to get our credit.
Yeah,
to a point where we could-
because
Dude.
we destroyed our lives financially, and it took us years to build it
Dude.
back up.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, circumstantially, that's
Kind of a blessing.
It
to be honest
is.
with you.
Also, though, before we started Junk, we were working on the weekends, and like when we weren't working at Creative Matters for another agency who
That's right.
doesn't exist anymore. But they and we work with one of their previous founders now. He does like web design, and so they were another small agency, but they made a lot of money in their first year. They made probably like $500,000 in their first year, which is
Holy shit.
an incredible amount of money
Yes.
year one,
Yes.
dude. And they immediately sunk it into new hires.
Fucking.
But man, if you cannot keep that up year two, like you gotta expect some sort of dip, and they didn't have
course.
enough cash, and so they were like this, and then 2 years later they were all the way down here, and that was a cautionary tale for us too. And we were like, all right, well that's how we don't do it.
Yes.
So how do we do it? And we just like, well, we don't have any fucking money, so let's just shoot this shit on this crappy little camera and try to get someone to buy it. Or,
And like we'll learn how to color instead of hiring someone to do
Yeah,
it. And,
yeah.
and we'll get the editing software to do the sound
I fucking love
instead
that.
of hiring someone.
I love that. So someone starting out in the beginning, is that like some of the best advice? Is like try to learn it on your own.
Learn it
YouTube is
on your
amazing.
own.
YouTube
You can
is
learn
amazing.
anything on YouTube.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's so incredible though. Like the generation we do live in, especially with everything going on. Still, the amount of information
crazy.
that we have at
Oh, it's wild.
it's fucking nuts.
Crazy.
Right?
We still use it on the daily. Like we are professional. Like we're really, really capable at some things, and then other things we need to like look up like how to do it. Like
Yeah.
simple shit, and like After Effects is one thing. For the heavy VFX and motion graphics stuff, we'll farm it out now.
Yeah.
We're at that point, but like, early on we were like, how the fuck do you make a word pop up from a thing? And like we would just type up how to make a word pop up and then I was like, okay, and then we learn about masks, and then we learn about position animation, and then we learn about other simple shit.
But YouTube is wild because you can type in like word pop up squiggly line over the top After Effects, and it'll show you how to do it.
Yes, it's incredible. It's incredible. Okay, so after that, that first big gig, what was next? What was like something other than rehab? Or...
Adidas and Undefeated.
Yeah.
How the hell did that happen?
So
pure luck.
Pure
Out of
luck.
nowhere.
Fucking nuts to
Totally.
me.
But that was a relationship. So we shot this dude Devin, who was a friend of mine. We spent a day shooting him, and now his story was like he used to panhandle on the street, and he was a heroin addict who like begged for change, and then he got sober and he got into photography. Now he goes back to shoot the area where he and the people in it, and shoot these incredible portraits of these guys who are currently down there in like MacArthur Park and it's rough neighborhoods and shit. And so he just became this incredible like street photographer, and we wanted to shoot his story. Shot his story, came up with that little thing. And then months later, he got a call from someone who knew someone who was like, hey, do you do video? And he was like, I don't, but I know a guy who does. And that was literally how it happened. I don't do this, but this guy does it. And so like ever since that happened, we were like, okay, establishing relationships, maintaining relationships is how we're going to be able to keep business going, because we don't do like cold marketing and shit like that. And we got a call one day from Tiana, who's this producer at Dual Forces, which is an agency, and I don't want to fuck this up, so I'm not gonna. They're a very niche agency. They're really fucking interesting. Their owner comes from like special forces, so everything's very combat, dark, surreal, nighttime kind of shit. So dope and so specific. Yeah. And so they had the Adidas and Undefeated collab, which was like that kind of vibe, and that kind of aesthetic. And they were like, hey, talk to Devin. Do you guys do video? We want to hire you to do this. And we were like, cool, can you hold on 1 second? What the fuck? Dude! And I was like, dude, we just got a call about an Undefeated job. Undefeated was like one of my favorite brands. And we had no idea how do you shop stuff to other brands until you shoot
We've been trying to do stuff like that.
I don't even remember what we did in terms of trying to get a client like that before that, but it was not proving to be effective, right?
We were like walking into agencies and being like, hi, here's our card.
Yes,
you know?
We were like, hey, what's up? We shoot stuff. And they're like, cool.
Dude.
And so we got this job with them, and they liked us, and then we booked the whole campaign, and we did 3 seasons or 3 seasons. Yeah.
And then we worked with Kenneth a bunch.
And then so on that job, on the first job, we were shooting video, and there was a photographer shooting photos, and it was a whole video photo campaign. And that photographer is Kenneth Capello, who is like one of the biggest photographers I think in the world. Like he's incredible. He shoots for Nike in Korea, and then he flies to.
He did Billie Eilish's album cover.
Yeah. He's one of the big dogs, and he's a cool dude, and he's super chill. And we shot alongside him, and then he hit us up randomly for he was like, "Yo, do you want to do this job?" He had his producer call us, and he's like, "Hey, Kenneth gave me your number. Can you guys hold for 3 days for this Adidas shoot in downtown?" And we were like, "Yeah."
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
How long was it until you guys did that first, the Adidas and
between when we started and
a year and a half?
A year and a half. Yeah.
Dude.
So there's a little bit of luck involved, right? But it's from maintaining relationships, I firmly believe.
I mean, most of our cool jobs kind of fell out of the sky like that, though. I mean, they kind of just happen.
Once you get on set and you're like, hey, what do you need? We got you, and we're going to over-deliver. They're like, yo, these are the fucking people to call.
Yes.
You'll be remembered on sets. Like, when I was a PA, I learned very quickly because someone pulled me aside and told me this very sternly, but I learned it right after that. They were like, if you bust your fucking ass, your phone will never stop ringing.
Wow.
And so that's like the vibe that we brought to these shoots. We were just so stoked to be on them. And we were also a little bit of like, I don't know what the fuck we're doing.
You had no
on the first one, right? Like we were like,
no idea.
I don't fucking know. I mean, this is gonna be okay. We were shooting at night. I was like, pull the ND filter off. Like, it was crazy. Rookie fucking mistakes, that we were fixing on the fly, and so we were learning the bigger stuff on the fly, and so
Did anyone know, or was it just you guys?
No, it was cool.
no, nobody knew.
Dude.
When you fuck up, you cover that shit up real quick.
Yeah, real fucking quick.
Or you fix it in post.
Yeah, dude, but that shit must have been so fucking surreal that you know, you guys booked the gig a year and a half in, and then you guys go into it. Do you remember your mindset?
Going into it
Yeah.
was super excited when we got the contract, and then we gave them our contract and we all signed everything. We were super stoked, and then it was also, I was gonna say it was fear. I mean, there's some fear involved with it, but it was just really fucking excited.
Dude.
I mean, we were just stoked.
Yes, absolutely.
And especially since it was such an interesting vibe. It was not the first one wasn't 40 people.
Yeah.
And we were the film crew, and there was like all these different departments. The first one was like just 6 of us with the agency.
That's perfect.
So we had an opportunity to like, you know,
Yeah.
talk to people and shit and like really like kind of collaborate creatively. And so Kenneth is this kind of dude who just pop his system, hands him the camera, and he just shoots. And I'll be like, hey man, do you want us to get around there and get a wide of the shoes and then get up to us? And he's like, man, I don't give a fuck, do whatever you want.
Holy shit.
So we would be like, all right, we'd go around.
And just do kind of whatever the fuck you want.
And then, so we got to like put a little creative control into it. And so that was amazing.
Do you remember turning it in?
Yeah.
Well, he came to our office.
He came to our office.
Yeah.
We started cutting it, and this was because it wasn't very commercial. It was very like dark and surreal.
Yeah.
Like he's like the creative lead at the agency was like, I want it. He gave us a list of music that was like a reference for inspiration.
And
it was
then
like
GoPro footage of soldiers breaking down doors.
he's like, here's the
like,
vibe, and he sent us like VHS, like Special Forces neon green light. And we're like, oh, okay. You want to get fucking weird with it, man. We're down. Let's get weird with it. And he sent us a list of music, and it was like Skinny Puppy, Bong Ripper, like all these like sludge metal bands, Queen Elephantine, this like doom metal shit. And I was like, dude, I fucking love this guy.
Yeah.
Dude, that just that story all in itself is...
I forgot about all of that.
It's fantastic, right? I mean, there are so many people out there that, you know, try very hard to get into this industry, right? What you guys were able to do in 18 months to land that job, it's fucking inspiring. It is truly inspiring. After that, would you say that is the moment when things started to change for you guys? Or
Yeah, I mean, like we were on a pretty good run. I mean, at that point, that was the moment we were like, okay, now we're having fun.
Yes.
Right.
That was the first one where we were like, this is a thing that everyone will recognize.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
got an Adidas logo in it and an Undefeated logo.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, now we're getting into legit territory, and now we can breathe a little bit because now I can take this potentially and shop it to the next, you know, the Nike or whatever. And
It was also cool for me, and I think both of us, to work with Kenneth on the first one like that, and Dual Forces, the production company, because they were so like, we don't care if it looks perfect. Like, mess it up a little bit. Like, throw weird filters in front of the camera lens. Shoot it handheld.
Jeez.
We're going to have a crew of 5 people. It's going to be small. You're going to have an hour to shoot before the sun comes up. It doesn't need to be perfect. And it was such a nice, like, we can do this. Like, there's a place in the world for just, like, cool storytelling that's not super technical.
Yeah, for sure.
Which, at the time, was what we needed, I think.
Oh, absolutely. If it would have been like this fucking massive thing. And
yeah, if they were like, we need a
50
steady
people,
cam and a car and all this stuff,
Because-
we wouldn't have known what to do.
yeah, then we started making our way towards that stuff, and like that's the stuff that we shoot today. When we go and we shoot these larger Adidas jobs, we are a component of like a much larger crew, and someone else is directing it, and we're shooting it, and so we will. On the what was it, the SE job, SE nail polish.
Okay.
We were shooting these like girls in a bowling alley, and they're all like decked out in this rad gear, and the bowling alley is like 70s looking in Glendale, and then there's a couple girls in the arcade, and there's a couple bowling, and it was fucking chaos because the agency's like, get this, get that, we don't have enough time. And and Kenneth was directing that, and Kenneth was running between setups, and he was like, I gotta go, and he like ran over here and he handled the main setup, and we were like, okay, now we have a chance. And we got this girl to like do some cool shit and like get in front of the camera and frame it up the way we wanted her to be on camera. But yeah, these bigger jobs typically don't give you a lot of room to play. Yes, typically I'm directing it,
Yeah.
but the direction is coming from a room of people behind me
For
who
sure.
have to approve it.
Damn.
You know, so like we always look back on these first jobs as something that were a lot of fun because we were able to like you said, do whatever we want.
It was low pressure.
Yes.
Even though it was like Adidas and Undefeated and a big deal for us, it wasn't, 50 people watching us.
I get that.
Yeah.
Trust me, I fully get that. When you guys look back and watch it, are you guys proud of yourself?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And we're also picking out everywhere.
They're still cool though.
No, they're super cool because it just like, and that's the other cool thing about what we do is like if you're a photographer, you when you take photos, like you look back at them years later, you look at your parents' photos, you're like, that's a fucking moment frozen in time.
Yes.
There's a picture of my mom, my dad. My dad's got like a gold chain with this like big ass plant hanging behind him. I mean, it's just like could not be more 70s. And so the fact that we can capture our artistic creations in real time and they could live on potentially forever is just so cool.
It's just amazing. Absolutely. Man, that's so fucking cool. What would you guys say at this point in your guys' career your most favorite job that you've been able to work on?
Oh wow, that's a great question. Every couple of months we have like a new favorite, I think. I mean, I'm sure we have like different favorites, but like the coffee bean one we just did was really cool because we finally got to do stop motion animation, not really animation so much, stop motion VFX stuff.
Yeah.
I think the Alessandra one.
Alessandra is my favorite. Thank you.
Oh
one.
shit! All right.
Yes.
Let's hear it. What is that all about?
It was another one kind of like Kenneth. I mean, it was like a real small crew, but we were 2 years later, so we were much better at what we did. And it was just Richie and me. It was a photo team, and then Richie and I were the video team. And it was, the photographer was real chill, and she was just like, I'm going to take photos, hop in whenever. And Richie directed the whole thing. There was no Adidas client really watching it. It was just us.
Okay.
Playing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was a dancing video. It was one of Bieber's backup dancers.
Yeah, Alessandra Quinones.
I'm sure that's...
I definitely
That's
butchered
definitely
that.
not
I'm
right.
so sorry.
Yes.
She was awesome. She's a dancer. She was one of I think she was one of Bieber's backup dancers, and she's a career dancer for these like big stage shows, and she was on the Prime Knit campaign. It's all about this like stretchy gear that you can dance in, you can move in. And we shot her, and typically these things are like lifestyle kind of stuff.
Yes.
It's just like images for Instagram, or just people moving and shit. And so because of our background and the way that we started the company with the kind of stuff that we did in the beginning, we wanted to get like a component of it that was really I wanted to hear her story.
Yes.
So we leaned her against a window, got decent light, and just started. I think we interviewed her for 10 minutes.
Yeah, super short.
Yeah, and got like gold out of her.
Yeah.
Just being like, and we're like, what does it feel like when you dance?
Yeah.
Like what? Because I can't dance. Like, what is it like when you dance? She's like, damn. Like when I dance, sometimes I just kind of black out.
When I dance, my head. Sometimes I kind of black out.
And then you cut that with the footage of her like bounding across the floor, and then you like cut to black in the edit, and you come right back into it. And so we, in 2 days, and this is one of the brand stories on our website, you can like check it out, but it's like we shot it in a few hours downtown LA in a giant loft. We brought the footage in that night, and within 2 days we had the video done. It was like a minute and a half video of her just like bam bouncing around the floor, and like a little bit of her story. And then at the very end, and the way we like to do it is like a brief mention of the brand, right? Because like we don't want to like
yes, I got
whole
that
thing
about
their story.
Yes.
And then at the end she's like, and with this new Adidas Prime stuff, I can really move. That was it, right?
That's perfect.
Yeah. And they were stoked on it, and yeah, that was my favorite.
Still probably one of the best ones. We bought the camera from that shoot. We were like, we're gonna buy that camera.
Yeah, that was the first time we were. I think probably the first time we shot with the red Gemini, the 5K.
It was one of them for sure.
Yeah,
Damn.
and those ingenues.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Those lenses that we loved, and he was. I'll show you BTS photos at the end, but like he is rigged out, and so I was, because it was just the two of us. I was pulling focus while I was directing, and there was a monitor, and I had to pull focus in. But I would run over to her and show her with my foot. I would stamp on the floor and be like, I need you to circle around here, run back to the monitor and do this, while Ben's on an industrial ladder that rolls on wheels like 12 feet in the air, pointed down at her. You know?
It was cool.
It was cool, man.
It was cool.
Holy shit.
And we also shot that with another lens, those Canon K35s, which are the lenses they shot Alien on.
Oh, shit. All right.
We wanted, like, we really dig the idea of using vintage glass with, like, digital technology. And so we were using the K35, the real wide one, right?
Yep.
And we were stoked on that, the look that it gave.
Dude, that's so fucking cool. You guys are super nerdy about it, which I fucking
So
love.
fucking nerdy,
I love that. You can feel the passion, man. You can just fucking feel it. It doesn't matter what you're into. I mean, at least for me, when I'm talking to people, when I see people nerd out on shit, it's inspiring. I don't give a fuck if it's pens or pencils or cameras, right? Like if
Totally.
I can appreciate it, and I can see the way that you guys talk about it.
My dad was a pen nerd.
Really? Yeah, fucking love it.
Talking
Fucking
about his Mont Blanc and all his bullshit.
my wife says I'm a flashlight nerd. But I'm just a
Actually,
nerd.
I need you to help me get a flashlight, actually.
Okay. All right.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. After the podcast. All right. So we've talked about like good shit, right? Any stuff that you're like, fuck, man, I wish I could go back and redo that, or something that you're not happy about.
Since we got sober?
Yes, not about that shit, but like, you know, stuff that that you work on. I mean, I can think of some, you know, podcasts or hairstyles or things like that. And if there's not, just
For
fucking say
sure.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can say pass next question.
No.
No, I'm trying to think of how to talk about one without.
You don't have to say the brand.
Yeah.
Is it the cat? Do you wish you didn't get the cat?
The cat for sure? We got to return. The cat for sure.
How to talk about it without. You can just not mention the brand.
Yeah.
It's all right. We don't have to. We can go to the next
No,
question.
no, this could be interesting. What's a good one?
Oh, like all work wise, right? We're talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah. I told
Yeah.
you that's what this is about. And other
There
just
was
random
I
weird
dropped
shit.
the camera in the ocean
Oh,
at one time.
yes.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Ben was like, I got to get this shot of the waves.
It wasn't even a good shot. I was just like dicking around in the waves and
Yeah. And
got
that
hit
was
by a wave.
that was early on. Yeah, he dipped the
And we didn't have money at the time at all.
No,
to pay
like
for
now
this.
we have an insurance policy.
We didn't have
We have a
insurance.
little bit of cash. Like if we fuck something up, like policy
Yes.
covers it, or we can
It's
go buy a
fine.
new one.
You know, this was not fine.
This was
at the
like
time.
this was during the time where we had
Yeah.
no money. We were just shooting shit, and like if you fuck up the camera, you're done. Like
Yeah.
that's it. He dipped it in the water. We pulled it out. It was like covered in sand and shit.
Richie's crashed a couple drones.
Oh, I have okay.
a couple
yeah.
drones have gone away.
I've crashed 2 drones. I
Nice.
fucking hate them.
DJI?
Yeah, DJI is a fucking nightmare.
One of them flew away by itself.
One of them
Wait,
did a barrel roll by itself.
Into an
Swear
oil
to
well.
God. They get these RF interference issues every like 1 in 1,000 times you get them up in the air, and this thing went during a fireworks show. Anyway, that was just one of the other one.
Wait, what the fuck? Why does that happen?
I don't know because they're mass manufactured and they're not meant for the stuff that we're doing necessarily, like flying them all the time. You know what I mean?
Seriously?
It's just like imperfect technology. Like it's
Yeah.
not quite there yet.
Yeah,
Drones
yeah.
just fucking came out
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things.
It's true. But damn, so RF interference just fucked it up?
So yeah, I was reading about it because I had to go and like absolve myself of like
Yes.
any wrongdoing.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't fucking do anything. I was holding it and it went like this and barrel rolled. And I was like, I came over to him. He was shooting. I was like, make sure you get this shot because I'm not getting mine. And he was like, and he was rolling on the fireworks show. He's like, okay. And I'm like, I'll talk to you after.
Are you able to even get the footage of like it?
No.
Like,
Wait, what happened with that? Didn't we get the footage? We
No,
found it.
we
It
did
went
get the
in-
drone back,
It got
but
stuck
the-
in an oil derrick.
Yeah.
so you can't get it. You can't get the footage.
It's
like
not on your
Bluetooth or-
controller. It's the
Ah.
cards in the drone, which, by the
Yeah.
way, dumbest fucking idea
Yeah,
ever.
that's so
Yeah.
fucking dumb. Wait a
Well, it's
minute.
because they can't transfer the data that size that quickly to a wireless
Not yet.
thing. Yeah.
Not
You
yet.
could probably do it.
Yeah.
You could probably screen capture it somehow.
Yeah,
But it would be
5G.
expensive.
Bigger, better drones that are like in the $25,000 to $40,000 drones, like those are the ones that are meant for like the cinematic shit. But
Yeah.
obviously, like starting the company, we can
Yeah,
only afford
no.
the $1,200.
But does RF interference fuck with those too?
To some degree, but I'm sure there's a safeguard against it.
They're much better.
Right? They are really good.
Okay, so you dropped a camera in the ocean,
Yep.
right? you barrel rolled a drone.
Yeah, and then just like overall like regrets.
That's awesome.
But it's not really, I wouldn't necessarily call it a regret because they're learning experiences.
Boom.
I mean, like we fail forward, and that's the way we built this company, right?
Fuck
like,
yes.
Like we contracts, like
Yeah.
getting the right language into a contract so that you don't fuck yourself.
Yes.
And learning the hard way, and then being like, okay, we need to change the contract so we don't do that, so that this client doesn't end up, squeezing us for this and that because it wasn't clear.
Does that happen?
It doesn't happen as much with us because we try to really be very diplomatic.
I think the big one for us has been, we shoot videos, which is different than like we sell tables or something. We can't just go on a website like Amazon and be like, how much is a table?
Yeah.
It's all over the place. You can pay $1 million, you can pay $500 for a video.
Absolutely.
So it's been a lot of like, sure, this sounds like $3,000, and then like 6 months later, we're still working on it.
Yep.
We're like,
Yeah.
that was a bad deal.
That was a
Yes.
bad deal.
Yes.
yeah.
Next time we need to do a different thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, rate structuring and understanding
Yeah.
like what the value is and how much money other people have, and like Ben said, it's so fucking nebulous out there.
Yeah.
Budgets are budgets. Like
Yeah.
a client might have 50 grand, but they might want to shoot goddamn Superman flying through the air, and it's like, okay, that's going to cost a little bit more.
Of course it is.
You know?
Fuck yeah. How does one even figure that out, especially getting into your industry? Like how, like how do you even know your worth? Like
It's just a lot of R&D. It's a lot of like researching, talking to other people, finding out what other people are charging. But again, like if we made tables and I went to a table manufacturer across the street, I was like, what are you charging for your tables?
Yeah.
Mine could be comparable to that, but the work that we're doing is so different than
Yes.
the dude across the street, and our clients are so different. So we scale a lot of our work to match, not only to pay for hard costs and to pay for hard time, but also to match the level of the client.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So-
I totally get what you're saying. For me, like my world, like hair, right? Hair cutting, right? You can have two people, right, that cut hair just the same, exactly the same, but one's $50 and the other one's $300.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
The experience, right? The individual, right? And for you
The
guys,
location.
100%. Are you guys really focused on like the experience part, the customer service part?
Oh yeah.
I think that's so important. What are your guys, like when you think of him and when you think of him, like qualities that stand out most that you appreciate? First time I ever asked this question. Don't even know why, but just want to know.
Yeah, we've been told we have a very symbiotic working relationship by people. I think Richie and I complement each other really well. He's very good at handling people and organization, but our creative goals and sort of our morals are very much in line. Yeah. I would hang myself if I had to get on a phone call every day and talk to a client who's unhappy.
Yeah, that's why we compliment each other.
I could never do it. And I think Richie would freak out if he had to sit and color stuff for 3 days straight. So we really even each other out.
Yeah,
Professionally.
And like Ben will learn how to do something and he'll learn how to do it. Like he'll just figure it the fuck out. He'll go and we're like, all right, we really need to start getting into color grading. He's like, okay, well, I guess I'm a colorist now. And like start grading. We got DaVinci, we got like the industry standard software to like start getting into it and learning about nodes and node trees and then failing forward on that experience for the next 6 months and X number of clients where we're like, oh my God, the saturation levels are low. Then when we go back and we look at the old stuff, like we can see how our eyes have changed, how our ability to do stuff has changed.
Failing forward.
Yeah.
I like that.
Hell yeah, man.
That's I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's the first time I ever asked a question like that. Two people that are working together. But one thing that I see that you guys do is you guys take your failures and it pushes you forward. You have to learn from those experiences, especially all the experiences you guys have been through. Is that something that you guys have? You guys always been that way? Would you guys dwell on things when you were younger? I mean, what is different from now than when you guys were younger in that sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think before before I got sober, a failure was something that you never really moved forward from. You just kind of buried it and went farther down. Now life goes on. Before it was like, I'm just going to pause life right here. I went to college. I got into college. I went, and within 3 weeks, I dropped 4 classes, and they wanted to kick me out because I couldn't live in a dorm room anymore because I was now a part-time student.
Yeah.
And then I did it 2 more times. I went to 2 other colleges and did the same thing, and it was just like, I'm just going to stay in this hole forever and never move forward. But when you stop using drugs and you sort of find somebody you like working with and find a career, it changes your perspective on failure. It's now a learning experience, and I have a goal that I want to get to. There's a forward place that we're going to.
For sure. No, that makes so much sense. Man.
Yeah. Yeah. I also had parents who I think growing up, like my parents, for all their faults, like they were great parents. And one of the things that they were like, hey, you want to do this thing? Do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I had to beg for 3 years for an electric guitar when I was 9 years old, and I finally got one.
Yes.
But I got it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You did.
And then I wanted to be a DJ, and I was like, I need turntables.
Yep.
Like, all right, I guess he needs fucking turntables now. And so like, they were always supporting me, just kind of like testing the waters and all kinds of different stuff and figuring out what I wanted to do. And at the time, it was mostly music and writing. And I'd write little stories as a kid. And then I got into music. And then it was like, I was in a band, and then I was in another band. And then we were playing shows around New Jersey, and I was in high school. And they always supported it. They were never like, you got to get back home and do your homework. They didn't give a shit about homework. And now I realize how smart that is.
It's so fucking smart, man.
When I have kids, like, yeah, do your homework will be a thing that I say.
Of course.
But no, be in a fucking band, because that's going to change you. You know what I mean?
Experience,
that's
man.
That's going to make you, like, learn things about your damn self.
Yeah. Why is that, though? Like, why we live in this fucking culture, man, where it's like, we go to school, like, it's like school, study, copy, when why aren't they setting us up for real world experiences? Like, why is our school system like, what are your thoughts behind that?
Like, I firmly believe that school should be 20% basic math.
Yep.
And then how to do your fucking taxes.
Yep.
And then maybe how to do laundry.
Yep.
Right. And then
Cook
the rest
some
of it
food.
should be extracurricular.
Yes. Yes.
Like, just do the thing you love to do. You're going to be successful. I mean, I spent so much time in school as a kid being like, what? Like, I'm failing at geometry.
Yes.
I'm failing at geometry. And like, it never came back. I never had like a need to know what the fuck a parallelogram was now in my 30s.
Nope, never.
I mean, but the tax shit would have been helpful.
Dude, fuck yes. Fucking debt, man. Like, understanding just how to be a human being. But that is definitely not the case. And, that's why a lot of people, get out of school. They fucking go to college, rack up all this debt. And it's just like this perpetual fucking just round and round and round and round, and it never stops. And so your parents, saying, or just, supporting you fucking be in a band and do those things, it's really important, and you take that, right?
Yeah, and some people are built to do that stuff too, right? Like, I was talking to a dude at a party recently. It was like my first very small, like, friends gathering post-COVID or whatever period we're in, right, where we could hang out in like a group of 6 people. And he's a neurosurgeon at Cedars-Sinai.
Jeez.
Where he's interning or whatever that level is, right? Like, that shows you how much I fucking know. And he was talking about something having to do with his experience at the hospital during COVID, and I was just looking at this dude like, fuck, that's amazing. This dude he's a fucking neurosurgeon, man. Like, that's fucking insane. Nuts. This guy went through like crazy medical school, and he's still learning. He's in year 10, and he's still not even at that level yet, but he's got the ability to do it. And I'm just not built like that. No. Like, I am not going to have the financial security that guy has, and he's probably going to be able to buy a house before me. But we're just different people. Like, dude, I could never do that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I can only do this, like, to some degree, and be happy.
But you're doing what you love, and you're happy, right?
It's our own thing too. Like, we were at that agency for a while, and we were like, "This is a great experience, but like, let's make our own fucking thing.
Yes,
like, let's build some sort of legacy. Let's build something that we have control over." And now, and 4 years later, like we can pick and choose to some degree. When we're not like when the bills coming down the pipeline, we can pick and choose the clients that we want to work with.
Yeah.
And choose the ones that we want to work with.
For sure. Where you guys at now? Like, when do you start working again? How the fuck does that?
We've been working.
Okay.
Mostly on post work.
Okay.
Editing jobs.
Yeah. We've been doing also with we did a small in studio shoot, the VFX GIF stuff.
For Coffee Bean.
Yeah, little things like this to go on their social media.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah. So just like fun stuff for their 4th of July coming up and the little gifts and stuff like that.
What the fuck? How do you do that?
Oh, dude, it's
For people just listening or watching, they can't see that. How it's like stop animation?
yeah, it's stop motion, VFX. So you have all these different things that you shoot and then you composite it together.
Is it a whole bunch of pictures or is it a video?
Yeah, some of them are
some of them are video and photo.
Right. Some of them are a few hundred photos. Some of them are less.
Okay.
And you just take a frame, move, take a frame, move, take a frame. You're like kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Damn, that's so fucking cool. Where do you guys do that?
We did it in a small studio.
Okay.
So we were able to work through the worst of the COVID scare with a team of 4 people. We were masked up.
Yeah.
And we were able to limit the amount of client that were there. We were going to broadcast it or live cast it to them so that they could see it as we were doing it.
That's incredible.
But now what we're looking down the pipeline is production is able to. Oh, what is today? The 12th? I think it was able to start today. Yeah. And so it's able to start up today and your wife is a hairstyle or a makeup artist, right? Okay, so makeup artists now there's some limitation on how much time they can spend with the talent. It's well, fuck. What does that mean? Because you know that that's such an important part of the process.
Yes.
Not only to get talent settled in and warmed up, but makeup is. It's going to take more than 15 fucking minutes.
Dude,
whatever the limitation is.
Why is there even a limitation? Doesn't it make sense? You're already touching the
You're already fucking there.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, but they don't know what is what. Nobody knows which way is up, right, with this thing. So they got to put some regulations in effect. But what these things are going to do is they're going to raise studio budgets and TV budgets, Netflix shows. Netflix has a fucking unlimited amount of money, but a lot of studios do not because of Netflix, right?
Yes.
And so these production budgets are going to raise between 10 and 20%.
Whoa.
Which is a lot of goddamn money.
Dude.
And little things there has to be a COVID officer on set.
A COVID officer?
Yeah,
what
someone.
the fuck does that even mean?
Like a SAG rep who walks around and makes sure
you're COVID
people
free?
are being SAG
6 feet apart and stuff.
Yeah, 6 feet apart, can't get too close.
Which is impossible.
What the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know. So they're going to limit the number of people who can be on set, which means, okay, grips, right? And it's going to interfere with union requirements too. So nobody knows what's going on, right? The thing
Part
about
of the
us.
problem with this whole thing, though, the whole COVID thing in the U.S. has just been what are the rules here? What are we doing?
Yes.
Are we locked down? Are we not locked down? What's open? What's not open? What's a COVID officer on a film set supposed to do?
Don't wear masks. Wear masks. It's it's so weird.
Yeah, and what's cool about our structure is we're lean, right?
Yeah.
I don't have 10 people on payroll. I don't have to bring in jobs that are 150K and over. I can bring in smaller jobs if we need to. And we can adjust, we can adapt. And that's what we've been doing. We've and it's probably what we're going to have to do for a little bit.
Yeah.
But again, because of the size of the shoots that we normally do, which are mid-range stuff, I think we're going to be okay.
Yes.
It's the bigger studios, it's the bigger production companies that are looking down the barrel at a lot of money that's going to have to go into it.
Dude.
During a time where they weren't able, people are on PPP loans and stuff.
Yeah, I know. It's really shitty. A COVID officer. It doesn't even make sense to me. It's especially for my wife, it's you're already touching the person.
And for someone to be breathing down her neck while she's trying to do her job is going to be weird. I hope, and I read this from Media Services, which is the place that you go when you learn about time cards and all this shit.
Yeah.
They're our payroll company, and they have these webinars and stuff like that. And so that's what they think is going to happen. To what extent? Don't know.
Yeah.
Because nobody fucking knows.
No one knows.
It'll change everything.
Yeah, it has to. It has to adapt. It has to shift. Yeah. And things have to get back to normal, whatever this new normal is. How long do you think it is until there's festivals and concerts?
Oh,
and
man. See, that's the one thing. This fucking summer was supposed to be so rad. What shows were you supposed to go to this year?
Oh, man.
Let's hear it.
Pearl Jam, Rage Against the Machine at Madison Square Garden.
At MSG in New York.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm still holding out that one might happen.
When is that?
End of August.
No fucking way.
Probably not.
MSG is
Probably
not
not.
opening until
no.
That'd be so amazing though.
Dude, that would be fucking dope.
Rage.
It's gonna be
Rage, man.
It's gonna be a minute though.
Damn it.
Have you listened to the new Run the Jewels album?
Yes.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's
Great.
so fucking.
And then you hear De La Rocha in the background coming in slowly. You're like,
Yeah.
yes, what the fuck yes? I was playing it fucking right before you guys got here.
dude,
man.
I shot Coachella for 3 years with that film crew, and we were under the stage for Rage. It was their first show back in 10 years. They didn't play for 10 years. Does that make sense?
It does,
right,
yeah.
Yeah, 10 years or 8
These are the things we're gonna be googling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I got notes
Yes.
galore.
So now you see, right? Right? Yeah.
So it's
Can't
like
wait.
2007 or 2008 is my last year with Coachella, and we basically got to the end of the show. Everyone was like, I think I was a PA or a coordinator or something like that. So I was production, so I wasn't running a camera. I was making sure, you good, cool. Click the walkie off and go under the flap to meet my buddies who have like, cases of beer like in a cooler.
Shut up.
And there's a little hole, right? There's the photo pit, and there's 80,000 people right here. You stick your head out, and then you look up, and these dudes start walking out. I'm like, it's fucking Rage, dude. I'm 6 feet from Rage. Dude. And De La Rocha comes out, and he's like, we're Rage Against the Machine from Los Angeles, California. And he breaks right into like Bulls on Parade.
Fuck yes.
And that shit was wild.
Is that
was
like a hair stands up on
For sure, yeah. I was
right?
like, the whole time.
God, that must have been an incredible experience. Why'd that stop?
Why did that stop? Drugs, probably. I don't know. That was like right around the time I started getting into like some heavy shit. I probably wasn't getting as many calls as before because I was doing shit like turning off my walkie.
Yes, dude. But that still should have been.
Yeah, and all that footage. I think it's on there's a new Coachella documentary. They're finally using that footage because the reason that stopped was because they canceled the documentary that they were making. They made one thing about the first few years of Coachella. This was supposed to be the next installment. We shot for 3 years and then they cut it off. And I never knew why, because I was at such a low level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wasn't anywhere near executive level or above the line, but like, yeah, I think they just stopped doing it. They stopped having the film crews. They only have the live cams going.
But you got to sit there and watch like all these fucking amazing bands.
I had a golf cart and a bullet full of cocaine and a Camelback with booze in it.
Okay.
And a walkie that I would use once in a while to work. But it was such chaos that we would drive around from stage to stage, and I had the pamphlet of like who was going on next, and we'd go see Gogol Bordello play. And I would like transfer the field producer and a camera got to like interview Alex from Gogol Bordello, but then we'd watch the show from the stage, and we were on stage for Air. We were on stage for like Peaches and like all these fucking bands and shit.
Dude.
We just bounced around. It was so much fun.
And you did that for 3 years?
I did that for 3 years, and so me and my buddy who got on this job magically. I don't even remember. We met someone who got us the job. We still talk about it to this day. He's an executive producer at a company in Venice, and we're still like, yo, got to get those fucking pictures because we shot a bunch of pictures too. This Dana Kinski, who's this great DP, she was shooting this giant camera from front of house, and she handed me her DSLR with a 400 millimeter lens or some giant fucking lens.
Yeah.
And she was like, go grab at least 500 photos of Arcade Fire. And we had God passes. We could go anywhere. So I had this like embroidered God pass. And so the film crew can go past photographers, can go past anybody.
Yeah.
And I ran up and like through security, I was like, excuse me, push Jessica out of the way. Like all these people get up to the front, and I have these amazing shots that I shot, but they were on her camera. So she owns all of them. But I shot these photos of like Win from Arcade Fire. It was a Neon Bible tour. So all the neon behind them and shit.
That's so fucking dope. But you don't have access to any of those pictures.
No, she probably has them. I actually reconnected with her recently.
You should.
Yeah, she probably has so many good photos.
Dude, that's fucking so cool.
But
Probably find someone like Google.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
They for sure got posted somewhere.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Damn, that's fucking cool. That is really cool. Where do you guys see junk films going? Like after shit gets back to normal, what does the next few years look like?
Is the world gonna be okay?
Dude, you have a crystal ball right now.
Are we gonna be all right?
Dude, you have a crystal fucking ball right now. Everything's back to normal, right?
Oh, man.
So flash forward a year from now, right? Because things are, come on, there's going to be an eventual time where things are back to
Totally.
normal, right? What new normal is, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But normal. There's going to be cons, there's going to be festivals. All of this shit is going to happen again. Absolutely. What does it look like 3 years from that point?
We want to make a movie
Yeah.
at some point.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I think the whole point of what we're doing is to be able to pocket money doing what we love, doing what we're finding that we're good at,
Yeah.
so that we can do what we love, which is we want to write, shoot. We have everything we need.
I think between us we have like 5 scripts half finished.
Yeah.
So one of those is going to be okay.
Comedy, dark, drama,
All
romance.
over.
a little more of the dark comedy variety, if anything.
Okay.
So I think we're going to start with shorts, right? We'd
Yeah,
love
yeah.
to be. I mean, like ideally, realistically, we could certainly finish one of those fucking scripts.
Fucking do it.
Right? If both of us like the script enough and
Yeah.
we can edit it to the point that we like it and get people interested, we could shoot a short film and then get it into some festivals and start playing with that circuit, because that's, I think, for both of us, like, how fucking cool would that
Yeah.
be?
That's the
Dude.
dream.
Yeah, that's a dream right there. And like, and then inevitably, eventually, yes, sure, like, write and direct and shoot our own feature-length films.
That's going to happen.
That'd be the dream.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
For sure, it's going to happen. I mean, what else are you guys working? Like, you guys are putting all of this energy and effort, right? And if that's your dream and your goal, you've already made it this fucking far, right? So
Yeah.
it's eventually going to happen. Do you guys know that? Do you guys know, like, it's for sure, like, you know, dark comedy? Is that for sure?
Yeah, so like, I think you can speak on your own, but like mine are one's pretty dark and dramatic. I grew up on, like, look, my favorite movie is The Shining, like,
Yeah.
bar none. And I grew up on a lot of, like, and then like we share a lot of favorite movies too. One of my favorite movies ever is No Country for Old Men.
Yes.
You know,
yes. Great movie, man.
I love storytelling, simple, pretty fucking dark storytelling, and I have no idea why. I'm not like a
all right.
fucking dark dude.
Yeah,
I
I
just
get
it
it,
just
I
what
get it.
like clicks with me, and then but I also really dig Coen Brothers, kind of like dark vibes, and get or the comedic vibes, get some of that in there. And yours is stars of Chupacabra.
Yeah, mine's like Jaws, but with chupacabras.
Okay. All right.
There hasn't been a great chupacabra movie.
And he was just watching Tremors too. I just
Tremors.
realized that.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, that is my fucking
Jurassic
jam
Park.
right there. Yeah.
Dude,
Stuff like that.
yes.
I
Jurassic
would.
Park.
We would love to shoot.
Kind of B movie-ish.
Yeah. So like I.
But
I,
like well done.
Yeah.
I grew up
love that.
watching cult movies, right?
Yeah.
Like Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death and like Attack of the Killer Clowns. And so like Killer Clowns like fucked me up as a kid. And as an adult, I'm looking at it like the practical effects in that movie are so rad. These clowns in these giant suits wrap people up in giant cotton candy cocoons and then stick silly straws in them and suck their blood out. Like, yes,
fucking
dude.
brilliant.
I
Yeah.
want to fucking shoot something as weird as that.
Yeah.
And I think it could be huge. Like seriously, who the fuck is doing that right now?
Well, I'd like
anyways?
to see practical effects like John Carpenter style
Yes.
shit come back. Right?
The other thing is,
Cronenberg.
you know, the way that that content gets distributed now, it doesn't have to play in movie theaters.
No, it doesn't.
You
Not
know?
at all.
It's so easy to
Absolutely.
find someone to buy your thing.
Dude, that's what's great about now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at like comedians, right? Like
Yeah.
great more than
Crushing
ever, just fucking killing it. Netflix
Rushing.
just fucking open
Yeah.
that field up. So it's like there is so much opportunity for fucking filmmakers. B movies that are fucking dope though. You guys definitely will make that happen. But that's like the 3-year goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
Has
Yeah.
that always been like, okay, like we're gonna
Yes.
fucking do this and then we're gonna do that?
We've kind of been waiting, I think, to get to a point where we're like, okay, we kind of understand how to use a camera now.
Yes.
And we kind of understand how to do sound now.
That's
and
so
now we
crazy.
can try and make a movie.
Yeah, and
That's
so
so
now
nuts.
the question is storytelling. Can we write from scratch? Because like
Yeah.
we can write copy for like we've written commercials, right?
Okay.
And we've shot stuff like that, but that shit has a formula.
It's
to
so
it.
different.
It has a formula to
Yeah.
it. It's like we know what we're doing here. This moment you start reading something, you can see who's being cast in it.
Yes.
Right. But yeah, something unless it's a fucking Skittles commercial. You remember those from the 90s or the
Dude,
2000s?
Yes.
I
yes.
auditioned for one of those ones.
Shut up.
I used to work in casting, and they were like, "You come in." I had to read the copy without seeing it, and it's just so weird.
That's just so, yeah. That
didn't get
doesn't
it.
that doesn't make sense. Who would act in it?
Oh, in the movie?
Yes.
So that's the thing too. Like we would love to establish more relationships with like local actors who are looking to do something like that.
We have some. It depends what the script is.
Okay.
and what it requires.
Oh yeah, it totally depends. I
All
mean, we would need to find people who are passionate about it, right? And then just like go from there.
But there's no like one actor or two actors that you would love to
Oh,
work
who
with.
do we want in it? Oh,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
I'd love to work with?
like
come
real
on.
actors?
Yeah, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Paul Dano.
Okay.
I would love to work with.
I mean, Pattinson was.
Pattinson has been blowing
Killing it.
my fucking mind
Dude.
lately. I
Yeah.
told
Dude.
you that motherfucker.
But he
is
was
the
so
next Heath
smart.
Ledger.
He was so smart.
Yeah, made all that Twilight money,
Dude.
and now he's just doing weird shit.
But that was like the brilliant thing about him is that he could have went and just fucking did like all these like big A-list things, right?
Wasn't
But he's like,
interested.
nope.
But he's
Wasn't
doing
interested.
both now.
Yeah,
Because now
well,
he's
now-
in Tenet and Batman,
Yeah.
right?
But that
Dude,
was
he's the man.
man. And that's why I say like I'm like so stoked for him because usually people like that they get to this fucking level of fame and then they try to cash grab this shit
He pulled all the way back.
all the way back.
Yep.
And that's what has been able to like show that he's a real actor,
Yeah.
right? It wasn't just this Twilight stuff. And there's this weird thing about Twilight, like. There's something nostalgic about it for
I
me.
know.
I love Twilight.
I fucking
Yeah.
love
I don't
it.
give a shit what anybody says.
No,
I'll watch
fuck
the
everyone.
shit out of
Like,
Twilight.
there's just like this, especially like the first one, man. I don't know. I fucking love it. But
Like, say it.
yes,
Say it. You know what I am. Say the word.
Say it.
I fucking love it. But I'm like so stoked for him. I'm so stoked for people like that. And it shows that he is a real actor and he's got 2 amazing movies fucking coming out. And when I found out like he's going to be the next Batman, I'm like,
Yeah.
this can actually be fucking really
We were
good.
stoked.
Yeah,
We're stoked.
Defoe would be amazing to
Defoe,
work with. Now that
yeah,
I'm thinking
Defoe's
about
great.
The Lighthouse, dude, he
Fuck, man. Did you see the Joker thing that they did on YouTube with Defoe?
I did see that.
Yeah. I thought I was like, damn. that
I don't
could
know
be
how
good.
he never played the Joker.
But
It's
what
crazy.
did you think about the new Joker?
I liked it.
You didn't,
liked it.
You didn't see
I liked it a lot. I need to watch it again.
I thought Joaquin was great.
Dude,
Joaquin's amazing.
He's incredible.
it was so. I don't want to say like, but it was like just kind of a different take on Joker.
It was interesting. It was shot really well. I like that director, Todd Phillips. He did the Hangover movies,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of like Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
He's a weird dude.
The score is amazing too. I think it was the same girl who scored. No, she's new.
Yeah, she
Oh,
was
I thought it was the same one who did Under the Skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ever seen that?
Nope, not at
Jonathan
all.
Glazer
Not at all.
film with Scarlett Johansson.
No. Google that shit. Just
Under
joking.
the-
I-
Under the Skin, when you are feeling like you're in the mood for some weird shit, dude.
great.
Yeah.
Yes. Fuck, man. All right, cool. But yeah, I don't know. The new Joker movie, I really liked it.
It was cool.
a lot. It was
Angela
fucking.
Bassett
What is it?
from the score. Angela Bassett.
Angela Bassett is the name of the composer, like the
Oh.
actress?
No way.
No.
No, she's an actress.
She's the actress. I don't know. Is that who you're talking about?
No,
No,
Under
no.
Under the Skin is the name of the movie.
Under the Skin.
Under the skin, under the skin, or under the
Scarlett
score.
Johansson. I think she. Anyway, the score in that movie is amazing, and the score in the Joker in Joker is unreal. Like when he shoots. Spoiler, sorry if you haven't seen Joker. Like wake the fuck up.
Come on.
He shoots the guy in the subway, and then he runs, and he goes into the bathroom, the
Yes.
public bathroom, and he starts to like do the first moves. Right, and
Yes.
the camera comes up from his feet.
Oh.
The music in that scene, I was like, oh shit,
Yeah,
we're not
that's
fucking
great.
around anymore.
No,
great.
So
no.
yeah, I really liked it.
And who?
Michael Levy.
Yes, Micah.
Ooh,
Is
who
her
is
first
it?
name, right?
Michael Levy.
Yeah,
Micah Levy.
She did the score for Under the Skin too.
Fuck
She
yeah.
talks about how what the idea, because that director Jonathan Glazer is a fucking psychopath. So rad, and she talked about the kind of direction he was giving her without showing her the movie. She was writing the music.
shit.
Yeah,
Dude, but who thinks like what that movie cost like 40, 50, 60 million dollars and then it's $1 billion
Yeah,
film?
Joker.
Yeah.
Like fucking hell, man. That is
Yeah.
that and it's not even about the movie, but that's like how much it like gravitated to people and it just touches really like on like mental illness for sure.
Right,
totally.
Which is like I suffering from my own shit, man. Like I was like, damn, this I don't know, there's just something that just felt so real and raw about it. And I loved Heath Ledger's version of Joker.
Yeah.
And I never thought anyone could top it or get close. But fuck, man.
well,
at
they're
least
so
in my
different.
opinion, they
I
are.
mean, that
They are.
character is so very different at
Yeah.
a different point in his life too, right? So like, yeah, I love the different take on it. As long as it's not Jared Leto, I'm happy.
Yes, I know. It's fucking weird, man. Man, that's cool. I can't wait for you guys to come out with your first movie though.
Yeah.
It's gonna be such a fucking
gonna be
rad thing. When looking back at your guys' past, to where you guys are at now, How do you feel personally? I'm going to ask you guys both. Whoever goes first.
Wow. How do I feel?
Yeah, feel.
I feel like I really don't like to be dramatic
No.
about this shit, but like I genuinely feel like I survived a disaster. Like I, when I was getting high and I was in and out of jail, and I was pretty close to killing myself in a hotel room, I was like, oh, there's no fucking way out. This is the end. This is right. Because when you're locked into that headset, like this is the end. Like, and I don't know how I'm going to die, but I'm going to die pretty soon. And it's going to be sad all the way up until that moment. Now I feel like, dude, like shit tastes better, for God's sake. You know what I mean? Like I used to hate LA because I was fucking angry. Fuck LA.
Yes.
I can't get fucking pizza in LA, and like everything sucks. And now I love it. Now I love LA. So like, I mean, now it's like life is way more difficult in a bunch of ways because I have more responsibilities.
Yeah.
And it's so much fucking better.
You proud of yourself?
Yeah, definitely proud of myself.
You should. Both of you should. I'm gonna ask you guys a couple more questions, about this. But you,
I think I'm just the perspective you have is so different. Like COVID hits and we're quarantined and we lose 3 huge jobs. One of them an enormous job.
Yeah.
Like half our yearly budget gone. And life's fine.
Yeah.
It's really okay. Like the house is still there, the cat's still there, we got a puppy. Things are cool.
Yes.
Girlfriends are there. We're gonna hole up in the house for a couple months, and it'll be all right.
Yes, it will.
So it's a different perspective, and it's kind of like every job is just sort of a blessing. It's a cool thing. We get to go make believe and shoot people dancing and edit it into a thing and color it, and if they don't like it, it's fine. It's not the end of the world.
No.
That's what I like about Ben. He's like, well, we'll figure it out.
Are you proud of yourself?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully
for sure.
so. Can you look this up? Right. What is the percentage of people that make it out of addiction? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I believe it's like 8 to 10%.
It's not great.
It's not.
It's
fucking
not great.
great.
No.
Not.
The recidivism rate, I think. I mean,
in AA it's 5%, and they're probably the best at it.
right.
Yeah.
In 2012, a study released by partnershipofdrugfee.org indicated that 10% of adults who answered the survey consider themselves to be recovered from drug addiction.
Yeah. So 10%, and this is my first time getting sober.
This was our first time,
yeah.
which is even crazier.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's incredible.
And
it's thanks to Beit Shuva, though. It's really thanks to the rehab we went to. Most rehabs you go to, or AA meetings, you walk into a room and try to get sober. People do it, but it's hard.
Of course.
Or you go to a rehab for 30 days.
Yeah.
You're barely a human after 30 days. We were there for over a year, and it's tiered. So the first 45 days, you don't have a phone. You're just like, learn how to talk to another human.
Yeah.
And then the next 3 months, it's like, learn how to sit in a group and talk about your feelings. And then the next 3 months, it's like, learn how to get an internship and write a job application.
Everything.
Yeah. So you have time to really get your life back together.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Baby steps.
that place saved our life, and they're a nonprofit. They're based on donations from the congregation and the community. And
That's
some
the other thing.
grants.
They're not for profit.
They're not for profit, so they're like, when I got in there, dude's like, how long you gonna be here? I was like, I don't know, 20-something days or something. And he's like, yeah, I don't think so. And then, and I was like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, I think it'll be longer than that. 13 months later, is when I'm moving out. And that's the time you need to get your shit back together. I thought I was schizophrenic. I was hearing voices, right? And I was hearing voices after I got sober. So it takes a while, to his point. It takes a while to get your shit back.
It does. But you guys did it, right? Or guys are doing it, right?
Yeah.
And if only 10% of people ever make it, isn't that fucking crazy, man? Drugs are fucking running rampant, right? Opiates addiction is at the highest it's ever been. And only 10% of them will ever make something of themselves. That's so fucking sad.
Yeah,
It's such a complicated problem to try and solve.
It is.
You become a heroin addict, let's say.
Yeah.
So now you got to stop doing heroin, which is wildly addictive. And then you have to repair your life without going back to it to deal with all the repairing of your life and all the stress that comes with that. So it's a hard one.
It is. Purpose, right?
Yeah.
Like
it really is purpose.
Finding purpose in
The
life.
whole
Yeah,
thing.
and we consider ourselves pretty fucking grateful that we were able to find that because I sponsor guys, right? And like a lot of these guys are like, I don't fucking know, man. I guess I'll go like work at Starbucks. I was like, yes, go work at Starbucks because it's an amazing job, and they'll give you benefits, and they'll give you, all kinds of stuff like that. But a lot of guys aren't quite sure what it is they want to do or where they fit in the world, right? And so we were lucky enough to have been given an opportunity to be like, figure it out. And we figured it out like just in time.
We've been very lucky too. It's much easier to do this with another person.
Yeah,
Of course.
If I think if either Richie or I was just like, I'm going to start a business by myself, it might have been very different.
Yeah.
But when you have somebody else to bounce your fears off of,
It's huge.
it's a big help.
How's your guys' support system? Now, outside of the two of you.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Pretty great. Family's good. Girlfriends are good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think I
Cat.
mean,
The cat.
you got a
Cat's
cat.
awesome. He's
Gotta
really
have the cat.
really
Yes.
good listener.
I have like a group of guys that I go to for different things. So I have like the dude who is like in his 70s who has been sober for 35 years.
Yeah.
And then I have a buddy of mine who's like younger than me, who's been sober for longer than me, right? So there's like a bunch of different avenues to go down.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. People going through this, what are some advice that you guys give them?
Going through which sobriety?
Sobriety. What are some advice that people listening to this podcast right now, they're struggling with addiction.
Yeah.
What is some advice that you normally like to share?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're struggling with it right now, like there is a way out, right? There's no way to say this without sounding like textbooky, but honestly, that's so true. Like there is a way out, but you have to do it. You have to be the one who wants to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your parents can send you to rehab. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's probably not gonna stick.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to be the one who wants it for yourself. And if you just want it, you can go find it with the right organization, a place like Beit Shuva or Alcoholics Anonymous, but you gotta have that ability to just keep pushing through. And then once you get sober,
Find your people.
Yeah.
Is a real
Yes.
big one. You got to find your it doesn't have to be a ton of people, but find your two people who you really trust and who really have your back.
Absolutely.
Because you're not gonna be able to do it alone.
No. Consistency is key in anything in life, man. You got to show up.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking show up. As we start to wrap this shit up, man. Looking forward, what are some other things that you guys want to do? All right, you make movies, right? You do all of this. What are some other things that you want to do in your life?
Well, we were gonna travel this year. This was gonna be a great travel year. It really was.
Yeah.
I was gonna go to Japan.
Yeah. Italy. You were gonna go
I
to.
was gonna go to
Africa.
for a friend's wedding. Yeah. Go travel, learn, eat all the food in the world. Basically, is what I want to do.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we
I
go.
want to learn sign language.
Fuck yes.
So
Fuck
weird.
yes. It is weird.
So
it's
weird.
fucking random. That is so
Love
random.
it. He doesn't know any deaf people. Not a
I don't
single
know
one.
it, but I just
No, but
want
I
to
love
learn.
that.
I think it'd be so cool to volunteer with some hearing impaired organization of some sort, just on the weekends. And
Yes.
I also just think it's such an art form. It's just so
it's-
rad. And I can't even mimic it because I don't know how
No,
to do it.
no.
I'm just so blown away that sign language exists.
Yes.
Also, we've seen so many of the governors giving
Yes,
speeches
yes,
and the
I love
interpreters,
it. I
so it's
love
just
it.
been on TV constantly,
It is.
This,
and they're so
fucking
expressive.
attitude.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, dude, you fucking feel it.
They're
man.
like
You see their
dancers. They're
face.
crazy.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah.
The one that does it with Gavin Newsom, man, she's got some fucking faces.
She's
that
so
you can
intense.
just go,
She's so
Yeah.
But
intense.
you feel it, which is
It's
so
gotta be
fucking cool.
stressful to get up there and try to understand what they're saying real quick.
It's so funny, dude. I was trying to practice it last time, just even saying the words after him. So I was like, and all these people and blah, blah, blah. And then I'd go, and all these people, blah, 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 just to see how the fuck they even do it, right? I wasn't even throwing up signs,
Yeah.
but just repeating something else that someone says while they're saying it, not skipping a beat. It's fucking hard.
I
dude.
bet it's hard as
Fucking
shit.
hard. Yeah. It's hard. Try it next time. So both you guys want to travel?
Yeah, I want to travel more. Eventually, when I have a family and kids, right?
Yeah.
And might want to move out of LA at some point. We were talking about potentially buying property in Oregon. I mean, for the business, what we really want to do is buy a commercial property,
Yeah.
like a stage. We want to build
Yes.
a stage. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, rent it out to recoup the costs on it, pay the mortgage, but then use it for our stuff.
That's next.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Where would it be?
Where would it
Probably
be?
in LA.
Yeah, it would be in LA. We're trying to figure out the right market, right area for it. Like we think
We were looking at them, and then of course this hit, and we're
Yeah.
like, maybe not the best time to buy a commercial property.
Yeah.
yeah, we
Maybe in the next year.
Maybe next year.
We would
Yeah.
love to be in the heart of an area that's like an up and coming creative like hotspot, right? So like what's it called? West Adams is like now some agencies are over in West Adams, these little coffee shops in West Adams, and like we would love to be at the forefront of some of that for the next little area. There's another area just south of Culver. It's actually technically Culver City, but it's a strip of Washington in Culver that I'm like, I could see this like turning into the next kind of like main street of Culver.
Fuck yeah, it's smart.
Yeah.
Smart to think about. What? A couple more things. Someone wants to intern, right? Work for free, but learn from you guys. Do you guys ever do that?
Beit Shuva has an externship program where you can start working somewhere and they pay you a stipend and you go and get a job in an outside company. And so we started bringing in some externs, right? Yeah. And so we are looking to, once this whole COVID thing is done, we're looking to like regenerate that program with them. But yeah, anybody else on the outside, like we are always down to have people on shoot days. We're always down to have like people like if they want to learn how to edit, they can come in. We have a third station. We can set them up. We can give them, we want to teach people stuff because like, I mean, we were taught how to do certain things at some points in our life. We taught ourselves how to do the stuff we're doing now. Like, why not give it away?
Yeah, absolutely. So if I know a guy by the name of Daniel that would want to come help you guys out.
Hi guys.
This guy right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We
man.
love that, yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
what kind of stuff? You want to produce or something, right? Like you do now?
Everything and anything and everything. I was gonna save it till after when I turn the cameras off. But,
Yeah. Tell
I've
me
been
now.
going to class. I've been taking my notes for what I'm doing, but I've also been going to class with you guys. And it's imagine if you were looking up to be an NBA star one day and you're watching a podcast for Michael Jordan and LeBron James right now. That's what it feels like. So anything and everything. I've wanted to be a director.
Well,
for
I
a
mean,
long time.
yeah.
Come hang out.
You should come hang out, and that's how we started out, right? Like, definitely come kick it, and then I can always use a producer, like on these, and we're on like a project basis, right? So like we will hire people out for projects, right, and shoot days, and then like maybe a week to prep something and stuff like that. So absolutely, man,
Awesome. From the ground up, I love the time. I appreciate it.
for sure.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Much love, guys. Where can people find out your information? Where can they find out your shit?
New website,
Yep.
www.junkfilms.com.
So hard to get that
God.
address.
Yeah.
We had to buy that from a
We had
Swedish
to buy
guy.
it. Yeah,
Nice.
some guy in Austria owned it.
Austria,
It was Junk
that's right.
Films, and I was like, I need your website. And he had a park. He didn't even have anything on it. And he was like, well, I'm kind of sentimental value. It's my first website. Anyway, we finally got it from him. So junkfilms.com. Instagram's junkfilms.
Yes.
I don't do the tweeter.
No tweeter. No tweeter. I love that. I love that.
No tweeting.
All right, guys. Fuck, man. I really appreciate you guys coming on.
man.
Thanks for having us.
Seriously.
you.
No, of course, man. Of course, the doors are always open. Yeah, man. I wish you guys nothing but success. I cannot wait to watch your feature film, your short films. But you guys have an amazing road ahead of you guys. It is a true inspiration to see people pick themselves up by the bootstraps. Literally hearing your story, when we did our first podcast, to seeing what you guys have been able to create. Just getting to meet you today, but knowing, I felt like I knew you from the amount that he talked about you, from his personal story. But anyone that is able to do what you guys have done, I commend you guys, and you guys are a big inspiration to a lot of people out there, even though you guys might not even know it. Being able to give back to the community, and like you said, 10% of people, man, 10% of people, right?
That's
So
not even the ones that are thriving.
Yeah.
It's just the ones that consider themselves. to
yes,
have been-
yeah, it's fucking nuts, man.
Yeah.
So kudos to you guys, and yeah, thanks for coming on Back to Your Story, guys.
Thank
All right.
you, man.
Woo, woo, woo,
Thanks,
woo. Thank you, everyone, for listening to Back to Your Story. Have a good night. Peace out, motherfuckers. Boom. Thank you guys so much for watching. To subscribe to the podcast, hit the logo right there. And to watch more content, hit the bad boy right there. Thank you. Have a good one. Peace out.